She
Hello, darling.
is. Hello, my love. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm
You're all
all right.
right. Oh,
Yeah, I'm not great, really, if I'm honest.
Franny's here. Calm down.
Hello, darling. I've literally just been messaging lovely Franny.
Isn't she amazing?
She's one of my favourite humans. I've known her for many years. We used to work at the arts together
Shout out to
before
the arts.
at the arts before anything six related happened. Me and Franny were already buds. It was
Full
great.
circle. You're looking very
I
nice
know.
today. I love this vibe that you've got going.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm kind of done with doing anything with my hair. I'm just kind of done with doing anything.
That's
So
why
I
I wear a
literally
hat.
wash it. I love it. I wash it, put it in plaits, and then sleep on it, and then this is my life now.
Done.
So that's it. Yeah. How are you, Gorge?
I am fabulous. I am just kind of living life, taking it one day at a time, you know?
Okay.
Slowly getting back into the normal pattern of things, I think. I've had kind of a week of doing nothing, and now I'm like, all right, let's make something of
Yeah.
it.
This is my mate Kev keeps saying this, right? That like you can only be productive and do things for like a certain amount of time because you put pressure on yourself to be productive all the time, and then
Yeah,
you hit a wall, and then you need to like scale the wall and try and find the door that
yeah,
goes through the wall. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
That is
So
such a
I'm
good analogy,
currently
eh?
like I'm scaling the wall this week,
Yeah,
whereas you've just gone through the door.
I've finally
Someone's
gotten
been
through the
like,
door.
oh,
Here, come on
excellent.
in.
Yeah. Whereas I am literally just like walking along the wall, kind of touching it, like I can't find anything. So
All right, Queens, we'll just lay
that's
down some house rules before we get started. If you guys have any specific questions about self-love or anything, Vicky Manta, hello, welcome to the live. Um,
Hi,
if you
Vicky
guys
Manser.
If you guys have any specific questions about
Oh,
self-love or anything like that, drop them in the question box below. The chat goes wild during these things, so we won't be able to see everything. So if you've got specific questions, in the question box below, and we'll try to get to them at the end of everything. We do have only an hour to chat, so we're just going to go wild. This will be up on IGTV, so if you guys have any questions, please let us know. If you have anything after, reach out. Jen and I are awesome, and we'll try and get it sorted. But self-love is the topic of the day today, Jen.
yes.
Where to start?
Well, I mean, look at me. I've got my knitting needles. I've been knitting, just to let you know. Here it is. I'm knitting a scarf. I know it's like May, but it's raining. So, oh no, it's June. Holy moly.
Yeah. Oh,
So
girl, it's just before. Sorry, let's digress for a second. It's my birthday tomorrow. Just saying.
stop it. No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, stop it. Yes, it is.
Oh, happy birthday for tomorrow.
Right? But yes, there's our digression number one. So let's get back on topic.
I
It's
wish
June.
you'd known.
Yes.
Although I just sent you something across the world. I didn't know. Look at this.
I
Who
still
would?
probably wouldn't get here until next month anyway, so feel free.
You don't. You don't know. It could be quick. Anyway, right. I just want to start by saying nobody is born self-conscious. Nobody.
Oh.
So where does it come from? Capitalism! That's where it comes from. Just to let you all know.
This is going to get
I
hella
know
political.
it is because, right, basically, no, you're born as this shell. So you're born as this kind of empty vessel that is, you're born with all of these innate things. You're born with the ability to know how to feed, how to breathe, how to, but everything else is learned. It's
Yeah.
learned behavior. So you're y- when you become self-conscious by people telling you that you're not good enough. And that's not just people, that's like society, it's consumerism, it that, you know, there's so many things that tell you that you're not good enough. And it's the oh my god, why can I not talk today? It's important to recognize that, I think. And it's in, like, how do you switch that off? That's my question. How do you switch it off?
We're starting deep. Holy crap. Usually we warm up to this. Guys, today we're just jumping straight in.
Straight in, feet first, man.
I think it comes down to perception. Like,
okay,
we are constantly this. Not only capitalism, but society. Like, we're, no matter what we're doing, 95% of our day we are bombarded with images and things that make us feel. Oh, my book's upstairs. Hold on. Our book that we were promoting, 95% of the show. But literally, we are overly bombarded by images every minute or every day, and these images have become the perception of what we should be. So you're seeing all of this stuff that is, if you're not in the right frame of mind, you're seeing it as, I am not that. Like, so
the perception of not being good enough comes from comparison to other things. And it's so, if you think back, I've started reading Sapiens, very good book also, do read that. But, oh my god, it's raining, it's absolutely peeing down, sorry. So like before any of this consumerist society, you didn't, like, the only reason that keeps going is by telling you that you're not good enough. And that was in subtle art, wasn't it? So if we kind of sat back and was like, I'm not going to compare myself to other things and other people, consumerism would die. And I think it's important that it does, because I think all it does is teaches you and perpetuates this feeling of unhappiness. And I hate that. I hate it.
I explain this to my friend. Let's see if I can remember it. So there's a difference between, like, for example, comparison wise, it's different between striving to be somebody and wanting to be I can't remember it. Something along the lines of, like,
somebody on something or somebody else.
Yes, that's exactly it. So there's the difference between striving to be something and then striving to be somebody, because, like, it limits yourself. Like, if you're striving to be somebody, you're never going to be that exact copy. You're never going to achieve the same things. If you're striving to be a performer, for example, don't strive to be Jen, because you can't be Jen. You can do the similar thing to Jen, but
what you have to offer is completely different. And the way that you will approach something is completely different. And the way that you think about things is completely different. And I think the most important thing is, like, being yourself. And I think that really helps in terms of
but in saying that, it's also the hardest thing to do.
Oh my god, it is, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
You have to be comfortable with yourself. And I think we touched on this last time. Like, you have to be comfortable.
How do we do that?
And it's the discovery of life. Like, for all of you younger guys there, it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week. It's not going to happen next month, next year. It's probably going to be a good 5-10 years down the track where you figure it out, if not 20-30. So if you're expecting everything to make sense tomorrow, I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. Something might make sense tomorrow, but it's not going to be everything. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. It's a constant, like, it's a constant journey. You know, there are people that ask me, like, how are you so confident? How are you this? I am not very confident.
Man, like,
there are things
it's funny what
I'm not.
a filter and a 15-second time limit can make you look like.
Right? Exactly. It's so true.
And
you know, and then you see me kind of sitting here like,
and that's
I'm
the
such
thing.
a like.
That's the thing, guys.
Such
Like,
a
everything that we post on our stories and on our timelines, we put half an hour, 45 minute, an hour worth of thought into before we process it, before we post it, because we know what message it's sending. We know how we're looking. We know exactly what we are projecting to you. We are completely different people behind the camera, and that's what this is between me and Jen right now. A complete mess of a attempt at being smart.
I'm just trying to be like normal in any way, but like, this is the thing, and I think this is a problem with social media, is that it again, it perpetuates this feeling of comparison, and it's this feeling of seeing these edited snippets of people's lives, and everything is edited. You know, there are people that put things up and it's like hashtag no filter. Like, I've done that. Do you know what I mean? And it, you know, there is no filter, and that's wonderful, but also it's still a positive snapshot of somebody's life. And to be bombarded with things like that, I think is really damaging. Which is, I think, why I try to be, I don't know, like, I try not to overly edit myself, or I try to be completely normal, but
Jen, we both know you're not completely normal, let's be real.
No, I'm an absolute mental. Absolute nut job.
And guys, I can make that joke to Jen as a joke, and she understands it's a joke, so no one take that out of context, please. Like, coming down to the self-confidence thing, like, it really is comfortability and acceptance of who you are in the time that you're in, understanding where you're at in life. It's a whole heap of numbers and figures and statistics that really don't mean anything in the long run, but you will spend most of your life worrying about them, because society tells you to. Wow.
It's so hard though. Like, it's so hard to ignore these things. And you can sit there and say, you know, society is basically what makes you uncomfortable, and basically what makes you insecure about yourself. But you can't ignore it because it's always there.
Yeah.
Like,
but self-confidence is also knowing that you have weaknesses, and that you
my God,
you have things that are faults, and that they're the things that, if you accept those things about yourself, you're going to be 300 times stronger than anybody else out there, because nobody is going to be able to attack you with the things that you know.
Because you're aware. Yeah.
Because you're aware, so nobody's going to be able to come at you. And
embracing your eccentricities, or things that you deem as not normal, or things that you deem as a bit weird, or, you know, not perfect, or not, you know, the things that you kind of don't really like about yourself. If you kind of accept and embrace those things, if you can change them and you want to change them, do, for sure. But I think the important thing, again, is acceptance of those things. That's it, yeah.
But you should never change something about yourself for society, because that
oh God, no,
isn't healthy. in the long way. So like, yeah, it's all a circle of if, buts, maybes, whens, hows, whys that never really make sense. Summing up that last 10 minutes, essentially self-confidence is just fake. Like, it's all about believing in yourself, really.
No,
Like,
no. I mean, a lot of the people that I like to surround myself with are very, I don't know if I've said this before, but they are like unapologetically themselves. You know,
I think
they,
that's in your podcast, so people haven't heard
yeah, I
that
think,
yet. 4 weeks, folks.
but like, I'm excited. But I think like that's the kind of people, and I think it's also very important for you to surround yourself with people that kind of give off the energy that you want to give off, you know? So if you surround yourself with people that are insecure and negative, and you know, that feeds off each other, like you all feed off each other, and it becomes this negative downward spiral. Like,
yeah.
And I think the most important thing is to surround yourself with people that will build you up, or that allow you to be unapologetically yourself, because they are unapologetic. I'm gonna get in the bin because I can't talk.
Not only that, but the people that'll tear you down in the right way and tell you that's
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, it's all good to have the people that build you up all the time, but if you don't have that person that puts you in your place, you're never going to succeed.
Yeah.
Because you need
Well, it's
to
not
be...
about like, so when I say like the people that build you up, it's not, that's not me saying surround yourself with yes men. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes people.
Yeah.
It's these yes people. It's surrounding yourself with people that make you a better person. So that is by calling you out, that is by praising you, or that is by you know, being there for you, that is for offering that you know, that devil's advocate opinion as well. Like, I will talk about my mate Kevin all the time. I don't even know if he's watching this, but like, he is one of the most important people in my life. And we did Trek together, so we toured together for 2 years, and like, he will tell me when I am being unreasonable. He'll be like, that it sounds like you're being unreasonable, Jen, like, have a word. Or like, sort yourself out. Sort yourself out, do something, because right now you're just sitting on your ass and not doing anything, and it's not good for you. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I guess you're right. You don't want to hear it, like, but
Jen speaks the truth, and I'm like, girl, that's why we're here, that's why we're doing this. Because I know.
Exactly. I always speak the truth. No bullshit from me.
And I think something that we said at the end of 2 weeks ago, wow, God.
Yeah, I know.
So much has happened in the last 14 days. Holy crap.
So much has happened.
And something we said at the end of the episode 2 weeks ago was, if you're in a space where you've been surrounded by crappy people, if you've been in a weird situation that you wanted to get out of, whatever it was, if you wanted to change your headspace and you're in quarantine, now is the time to do it. Because you don't need to give an excuse. You don't need to give a reason. You can just walk back out your door when society goes back to normal and be like, oh yeah, sorry. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Like, that was...
Oh my God, I totally forgot you existed.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's the perfect time to kind of cleanse and reset. Let's have a look. I'm gonna Google some stuff. Let me
come on, Google. You know, it's hard. I think it's difficult to sit and talk about self-confidence when you're like, I'm sitting here looking at my own face and looking at the things that I don't like about my own face.
Oh, girl, I've done that so much in the last
It's
20
horrible.
minutes.
It's horrible.
The light's not
like,
right.
I know. And I'm like, oh, you can see my big vein. Like, I've got a big vein down the bloody center of my forehead that I hate. And apparently you can't really see it, but I get bullied about it all the time. Also, I think it's very difficult in a performing industry, especially as a swing, right? Because when you're not on stage, you're sat in a room that is full of mirrors, and all you do is sit there for the duration of a show surrounded by mirrors, and you can't help it. You sit and look at your own face all the time, and it's so, you literally scrutinize every little detail of your face. Oh, it's horrible.
Why do you do that though, Jen? Like, why do you feel the need to do that?
Because I don't know, because it's just there, isn't it? You know, like...
Hello, Georgia Carr. Can we have a psychological analysis now, please?
Why does Jen keep looking at her face? Because, people will sit and look at a computer all day. That's what's in front of you, and that's part of your work. Like, my face is part of my work. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, what have you Googled?
Oh my god. Just because I gave us a definition last time, so let's do a definition of self-confidence. It's a feeling of trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. Oh.
You see? And this is the thing. When people say self-confidence, right, people automatically jump to the physical. I know I do. I totally do. We're all guilty of it because we're in societies that show us you have to be a certain way aesthetically, but self-confidence comes in so many different forms. It's like,
but that doesn't even say, like, qualities could technically be an outward thing, but that doesn't say anything about your appearance. Like,
which I
abilities,
think is
qualities, and judgment.
Super important. That's so important to kind of focus on self-confidence in other aspects of your life. So, like, I'm very confident about the fact that I'm really good at my job.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know where I was going with that.
Jen's just
really good at my job.
She's just pepping herself up now.
I'm really good at my job. I hate my face, but I'm good at my job.
But, like, you break down those three things. So abilities, what you can do, what your talents are, what you bring to certain situations. That's one set. Then your qualities. So, like, who you are as a person, like what qualities you bring to friendships and relationships. Sure, if you wanted to toss physical appearance and that type of thing as a quality, you can, but we're not going to touch on that because that's a whole
not important
topic. And judgment, decisions you make in certain situations. Like, oh man, that's a solid definition.
It really is, because I think, I don't know, we're all guilty of making some really stupid decisions, right?
That's life.
Yeah, we're all guilty of it. But, like, I think you evolve a way of, I don't know, approaching situations. And I think confidence in terms of your decision making and your judgment comes with experience of making judgment.
Yeah. Well, if you go through life making nothing but good judgment calls, you're not going to learn anything, and you're not going to be. Is there anybody out there? Like, you would have to be a very solid recluse to, like, there's people that think they've never made a bad judgment call. In reality, they have.
Those people are called liars.
Yeah. That's a whole nother thing. But, like, God. Psych 101 with Jen and Josh.
Liars!
Personality types. Here we go. And I'm seeing a lot of comments in the chat. Like, everybody's kind of, like, self-deprecating. And that is there's a lot of comments being like sorry, Kathy Parr, I just want to point this one out because I can see it. Me making bad decisions is my trademark. Like, there's like,
it's about how you view it, isn't it? It's about not viewing things as negative. It's viewing things as learning experiences.
yeah,
And
everything
it's so
happens for a reason.
it's so difficult to think that, though, you know, when there's bad shit going on. It's so difficult to sit there and be like, okay, well, this is just this is something that will shape me. You sit there and you go, oh my God, I'm the worst person ever, or like, this is the worst thing ever. But like, everything that happens shapes you. Why have I gone off on a tangent again?
All I've got in my head right now is everything happens for a reason from Beetlejuice.
I don't know what.
Oh man,
what that is from Beaches.
No, Beetlejuice. The musical.
Look, I haven't listened to it, guys.
Man, don't go watch it.
Why?
The soundtrack is better than the show.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was a disappointment for me. Like, just for me. But yeah, I wasn't too impressed. But anyway, self-confidence, that's what we're here for. I don't even know where we were.
We're talking about judgment, about your judgments.
Confidence is a state of being clear-headed, either that a hypothesis or prediction is correct, or that a chosen course of action is the best or most effective. Man, these definitions are legit.
I just think the
clear-headed. That's the part I want to point out. The clear-headed. You can't have self-confidence if you're this brings it straight back to the comparison. If you're comparing yourself, if you're taking on too many bad judgments, whatever, it's clouding your judgment, which is then affecting your self-confidence because you're not going to be able to see anything else than what is either in front of you or being said about you.
It's very difficult, I think, to be able to pinpoint what it is that makes you, what was I saying? It's really difficult to kind of pinpoint what it is that makes you confident and what it is that instills confidence, because it's different for every person. And confidence,
it just happens. Like,
it just happens.
I said that really like patronizing, but like,
it just happens. No, you didn't. You're good.
But like take this account, for example, from my perspective. Like, I was probably in a really crappy spot before I started this account. Things started to pick up. We did a couple events, and then the Australian tour was announced, and things kind of got bigger. And I was like, cool, that built me up. Not good because I was getting affirmations from other people. Sweet. But then things kind of just took a life of their own, and I started creating other things like the podcast and started getting connections where I was like, okay, cool. I'm actually doing something right. Like, it's not other people telling me I'm doing something right. I can actually see I'm doing it right. So it's a matter of kind of having the foresight in the situation that you're in to be able to assess it and be like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm not piggybacking off anybody else. This is happening because of me, or I'm having a part in this and this is what my part is. It's kind of identifying your role in the universe.
Yeah. Well, it's doing, and it's also
this
doing
is a
things.
Ridiculously hard topic to talk about. Holy crap.
It really is. And it's doing things for yourself that make you happy.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Because I think if you can spend a lot of time with people, doing things for other people and thinking that that's what makes you happy, and thinking about, you make other people happy, therefore you are happy, when really it's very important to address it closer to home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, if it comes back to what were we talking about 2 weeks ago? Positive mindset. It's the same thing.
positive mindset.
It's the same thing. Like, all of it links in together. If you're not in a good place, if you're not surrounded by good people or the right people, if you're not doing something you love, you're going to have a crappy mindset, which is going to lead to being unconfident in yourself.
Yeah. And we've all done things, like we've all had to do jobs that we don't like, or we've all had to do things that we don't enjoy. But in amongst that, you have to find something that does spark joy. By the way, I'm just going to make a detour to Marie Kondo. Does anyone watch Marie Kondo?
No?
Stop. Right? So she does like a whole thing. There's like a series, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but I binged it all maybe in like 2 days. But it's called Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, right? And she talks about like decluttering.
I know.
Yeah. And you have to, and I think I think it's a really important lesson to take with you into the whole of your life. So if you can do it when you're like clearing up clothes or whatever, so you go through your drawers or your wardrobe or whatever, and you hold something and you ask yourself, does this spark joy? Like, does this spark joy? Like, does this bring me joy in my life? No, it doesn't. Thank it for its participation in your life, and then give it away. Bye. And I think that, to me, I think that's a really important thing that I like to take with me, with people. Does this person spark joy in my life? No. Bye, Felicia. That's how I feel. I do it with my clothes, I do it with people.
Man, that's like, it's such an important thing to have the right people around you. Like,
yeah.
And like, guys, my support network isn't even around me. Like right now, half of my network is literally in the UK, and the other half is scattered all around Australia. Like, it doesn't have to be people you see every day. Like, some of my best friends that I've had for 10 plus years, I talk to every 6 months. We just check in.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet, let's go. Like, it's not a thing that you need to talk to somebody every single day, because that's how you get over people. That's how people become too much and just bye, Felicia. And
I had this conversation with my other half the other day, because there are some people that have been in my life previously, and that is, there are some people that are still in my life. There's a little bloody moth in my room and I want to kill it.
Just before you go down this track, Jen, again, guys, we forgot to highlight this at the start. We are not medical professionals or qualified psychologists or anything like that. So this is just our opinion. We are not trained, qualified. We will not be giving any official advice or anything to anybody. This is literally just us talking to our throat. Through our thoughts.
Exactly. I second that. If something resonates with you, that's amazing. But also, something that works for me might not work for you. Something that, I'm just chatting. I'm just, flapping my gums. So there are people that have previously been in my life. There are some people that are still in my life that feel the need for constant communication. I hate it. I hate it. I hate that. It's something I don't need. I've never needed it. And I find it baffling, because I'm an only child. So I don't know if I've ever mentioned that. So I have no siblings. I have no father figure. It's me and my mum. So I'm a very like solitary person.
Yeah.
You know, like I love my friends, but also I'm like, too much, too much, too much, don't like it. And I think, where was I going with this? Where was I going with
People
this?
in your life. People in your life.
About wanting constant communication. Like if that's important to you, you need to find like-minded people that it's also important to. Do you know what I mean? Or
find a
I read a
group of
book.
people where you can get what you
Yeah.
need out of several different people. That's what I
Yeah.
have. Like, I'm somebody that needs to chat all the time. So, like, I have certain people at certain times of the day where I can be like, cool, I know you'll be free, or I know you'll respond, and I can get that instantly.
See, there are days where I'm like, yesterday I did not want to talk to anyone all day. I sat and I did a paint by numbers. Do you want to see it? I hope you're ready. It's a dog.
Aww.
It's a good boy. You like it?
That's amazing.
Thank you. So that's what I did yesterday. And I was like, I taught last night, which was great. And I loved it. And it really made me feel better. But for the rest of the day, I was like, I hate people. I don't want to talk to anyone. Where I was going with this is that, no, I've forgotten. You go. I've lost my train of thought. It's gone.
Man, I don't even have a train of thought right now. But yeah, like, you need to understand what you need. It kind of comes down to kind of like love languages. Let me Google this so I don't get these stuffed up.
Oh my God, I was going to talk about this. I have the book.
Yes. Love languages
I have the book.
my favorite thing to understand.
So you have words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. They're the 5 kind of love languages. And I think people so easily attribute that book and attribute that, hi Theatre Calf. By the way, if you're ever in London, go to Theatre Calf because they're amazing and I love them.
Oh, Theatre Calf want to hire me May, June next year? I'll be over your way looking for a job. Just
oh my God, do hire him. Nikki, do hire him. What was I going to say? People are so quick to like link that with just romantic relationships, but it applies to like every relationship. I can be waving my knitting needles around like a weapon. It applies to like every relationship. You know, everybody needs different things. We totally digress from self-confidence, but I'm enjoying where it's going. So
I feel like we've talked on self-confidence as much as we can. I don't think we can go any further into that.
You basically just have to surround yourself with people who make you feel good about who you are as a human, and you need to feel good about who you are as a human being and the choices that you make. You know?
But I think the love languages is love languages is a pretty good segue from that, because like love languages is a really easy way to understand mindsets, and it's a really good way to understand people as well. Because if you can figure out how people react to certain things, 9 times out of 10 it boils down to these 5 things. They like hearing things, they love seeing things, they love getting things, they love like spending time with things, or they love feeling things. Like that is the basic human breakdown. Again, not a psych major, just an experienced unprofessional. So you can learn to deal with certain but interact with different types of people by understanding what they need, because you can
what they need in accordance with what you need to be able to create successful friendships, relationships. Like it's super important.
It's like, let's take quality times and words for affirmation as the easiest way I find I build relationships or friendships, because it's like, cool, I'm going to start off by telling you something I like about you, And pretty sure this is how my whole friendship started with Jen. Lol.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. I'm going to be like, yep, cool. This is what I like about you. And then Jen and I spent quality time together where we exchanged more words of affirmation. And
Friendship.
right? Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Where people might, that's the easiest, they're the easiest two to kind of work off, because if you're starting a friendship on receiving gifts or acts of service, you're in a bad situation.
Yeah.
And
I think
that's
the more longevity.
Yeah, they're like
You
know? the later parts of a relationship, but like the actual, let's just talk about relationships because that's where we are. Relationships, I feel like those 5 things are kind of tiered. You can't have acts of service, receiving gifts, and physical touch without having the words of affirmation and quality time. If you're not having the conversation and you're not spending time learning, the other things are kind of the surface things that pretend to hold things together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm glad that
some
makes
people,
sense because I was lost there.
No, some people don't. Some people really don't need words of affirmation. Some people, you know, are completely fine with who they are, with what they do. They don't need to hear. They don't need to hear certain
don't
things.
understand how to process that. I was more coming at words of affirmation from just like conversation, like actual speech. But that can be filtered into quality time as well.
Yeah, I think quality time, to me, I mean, in the book that I have, there's like a little quiz at the back, and you do the little quiz, and it's like a multiple choice quiz, like you get in like a teen magazine, and you answer all these questions, and it gives you the points, and then it tells you what your love language is. And my love language is quality time. I find it incredibly important, and that's not like having to go to some places and do some wonderful things. It's sitting and it's talking and it's spending time with somebody that is super important to me. Is just somebody caring enough to take time out of their day to want to spend time with me. That's what I need. Even if it's, I don't need to hear you're amazing, you're beautiful. I just want someone to take time out of their day to sit and just talk to me,
Yeah.
I'm a simple being. That's all I want,
Yay.
That's
so that's like, oh man, we've digressed so much, but it's great. I love it. What else?
I don't know what you expect.
What else can we talk about while we're here? Just while we're in this kind of weird.
What time is it?
We've got 15 minutes or 17.
All right, has anyone got any questions? Are there any questions that anyone's got that we can chat about?
Did someone just say Shaka's here? Shaka's here.
Is she?
Yep.
Hello, darling girl. Hello, my wife. I miss my wife. She is my wife. I love her. I miss her. If you're still here, I love you and I miss you very much.
Most of them are performing questions. Everything that I've got, guys, is going to be answered in Gen. All the questions that you guys have asked are going to be answered in the next 4 podcasts, maybe 5. Definitely.
We're not talking about.
So if you guys have any theatre questions, go and listen to the podcasts because 75% of those questions have already been answered on the podcast.
If you have questions about anything life related,
that's what we're here for. Theatre is great, and theatre is what's brought us together. But Jen and I are doing this to kind of chat to the deeper meaning of life.
At the moment, I'm finding it really difficult to talk about theatre, if I'm honest.
I'm
just going to try and be like totally real, because I do like to paint this picture of myself that I am positive, and I am a very positive person. But the past few weeks, I've been not mentally very good at all. And I think it's, there are many, many factors, but there's a huge cloud of uncertainty about when I'm going to go back to work. And over here, there's a lot of things that are reopening, and shops are reopening, and this is reopening, and that's reopening, and people are now seeing each other, and yet I'm still stuck in this uncertain bubble. And I try and stay so positive about it, but right now I feel absolutely fucking shit. And that's me being 100% real with you guys. And this situation sucks, and I feel shit about it. And it's okay to not be positive all the time. And that's what I've got to say about it.
Yeah. So that is why we're not touching on theatre.
Because I'm sad.
And I feel the same way about it now, because like right now I'm supposed to be gearing up to go to New Zealand for 6. Like I was supposed to be in Melbourne this week. Like I'm feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Like I'm not in the industry, but I get it.
But it's important to you. It's a big part of your life.
You're telling me.
And it doesn't exist right now, and it's shit,
Yes.
Shireen dump a big negative turd on the day. Sorry about it.
It's all right. I get to go to sleep. You have to stay awake for the next.
I have to live the rest of this day.
So many hours. So yeah,
but like
it's.
I'm trying to think of where we're going.
Sweetheart,
if anyone has any
we're so many exits off the highway right now. We don't even know where we are.
I have no idea where I am. I'm completely lost. But it's all good. It's all fine.
And this is any indication about how much of a train wreck our podcast episode is.
Oh my God, it's literally just us digressing I say us, me, digressing at every turn, and you trying to pull me back, and me just being like, blah, 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 blah. That's my life. This is who I am as a human. I'm an absolute mess. I love it though. What was I going to say? So love yourselves, guys. Do though, genuinely. It's really, to me, I'm just going to go off on a different tangent, obviously. There are lots of things happening at the moment. There are that are going to make you question who you are, and it's important to question who you are and your values and your beliefs, and the way you approach things. And it's important, I think it's important to be constantly evolving and evaluating who you are.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
You should I don't think it's ever a good thing to like, yes, be unapologetically yourself, and I'm all for that. But like,
understand that you're gonna evolve as does time. You're never gonna be this version of you for the next 60, 70 years, guys. Like
nobody's perfect ever.
As a human, you're going to evolve. Yeah.
Like as a person and as a friend, and the way that you deal with friendships and relationships and everything, it's just a constantly evolving thing, and you always have to be the most important thing is to be open to change and open to evolving and open to learning and open to questioning who you are and questioning your friendships and questioning things that were good at some point but now they're not anymore. And I think the more you're open to change and the more you accept change, the happier you will be.
Yeah.
Digressed.
That was great.
But I've come back to I came back to a point that makes sense.
Poor Shax just said she's going to watch this back. Shax, it's a train wreck, mate. That last sentence right there summed up the whole thing. Just steps near the TKTS booth across the road from like a very specific thing, and I can see everything in that area. Like it's so weird.
If you smell something, so if you smell a certain smell, it takes you back to that space.
Yeah.
See? Smells.
Apparitions are real.
They're so
We
important.
we just haven't harnessed the power to move through them yet. Oh, wouldn't that be
I
great?
love
Imagine if I could just close my eyes and be like, boom, I'm in Jen's apartment.
Oh, I'd love that. Hi. Hello. Oh my God, the Wicker Man ride at Alton Towers, that has a smell. And I know exactly what smell you mean. Anyway, oh God, why are we talking about smells? Oh, because the
Because
Shaka's.
we've ran out of things to talk about. That's why. Have you done the
I don't
Myers-Briggs
think I,
test?
I don't think I ever run out of things to talk about. How dare you? I don't think I've ever run out of anything to talk about in my life.
It's just because we've gone so off topic to the topic that we were supposed to be on that we're just kind
Yeah,
of
but
like,
also now we're just chatting. I like it. It's just a chat. Everyone's here for it.
oh.
I got like negative AF, and then I was like, I can't sit in this right now. So I'm like, let's talk about smell. I think every person smells things differently as well, like colours. Like people see colours differently, don't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, what we can say.
I've discovered Dungeons and Dragons in the last week.
Have you?
It's actually a fantastic game.
Okay, tell me about it. Sell it to me because I've always thought it's a bit weird. So go on.
I had the same thought. I've been watching 2 series on YouTube of like people just playing this made up game. It's fantastic. It's very creative. Like I feel like your personality would suit it perfectly. You'd just have you'd have to get past like the nerdy kind of
I am such a nerd.
Yeah, see, I think it'll work really. I'll send you a link.
Please do. I am like the biggest nerd, so
I said D&D and I got 2 questions. Hold up.
all
right, guys, I want to address something for the last 4 minutes. Every single live I do, whether it's with Jen or without Jen, I get the question on bootlegs. Now, Lauren Byrne summed this up with a tweet that got so many damn responses that we're just
I'm really angry about it, actually. If I'm honest. The way that people have been speaking to my friends, no.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Sum it up, bootlegs are illegal.
Yes.
That's it. Illegal.
That is literally the point.
That is.
Bootlegs are illegal.
Everyone's making you can't make the case. Yeah. You can't make the case that people can't afford it or see it. The bottom line is it is illegal to record a show. Illegal. It literally says it on most tickets. I don't know what ticketing says in the UK, but I'm pretty sure in Australia it says you cannot record. They say it before, during, after, whenever it is. It's literally illegal. So
there are copyright laws for people's intellectual property.
Yep.
So, when we teach workshops, we're allowed to teach a certain portion to protect the rest of Carrie-Anne's intellectual property.
Yeah.
Like the lighting design is like if we're talking about 60, like that's Tim's intellectual property.
Yeah.
The songs are Toby and Lucy's intellectual property. It is property, and it's like it's just like someone sitting there and like robbing someone's house and being like, oh well.
Yeah.
No, that's somebody's property.
Yeah. So I don't care who you are, what your perception is, negative. And that's sadly the note we're going to have to wrap things up on. But
I know it's so sad, but also like I know it's people just want to see shows. I get it. I understand the motivation. There's no evil motivation behind it, but you please do not attack my family. Like those girls are my family, and some of the things that people have been saying to them about them, it's not acceptable. It's bullying and it is horrible, and please stop doing it. Thanks.
100%. Guys, we're going to wrap this up real quick. Jen and I will be back next week. If you guys have any any topics, keep an eye out. We're both going to post question boxes at the start of next week as to topics you want to chat about next week. Keep an eye on us, follow both of us, and we love you. Sending all the
Love
love.
you. Nice chat. I've missed you.
I've missed you too. Let's keep in
Let's
contact.
chat.
We shall. All right, Queens, we're off. See you later.
Love you all. Goodbye.